everyone, it's Linda McKenna from Golden Rule Senior Placement Services coming to you today with Tuesday Talks. Well, it being September, and it being the 10th of September, we just missed a couple of days, but there is a observance of this week from September 8th through the 14th. It's called Assisted Living Week. And what the topic that we wanted to talk about is assisted living, what you should know about it for your senior loved ones, and all those to acknowledge in this special week of observance and celebration. A lot of people, I want to start off by saying assisted living. A lot of people perceive assisted living to be nursing home. Nursing home is really not assisted living, and it's really not such a thing. There is a skilled nursing facility. That means there's continuous care at a higher level of a 24/7 care by nursing, and also therapies department as well. And that is a higher acuity level, staying in a rehab nursing facility long term. And there's actually the rehab section of a skilled nursing facility, which we call SNF, or there is the long-term part of that environment of that facility, and that you can stay there as well. But again, it's usually high acuity patients that go there to live for the long term. And also, the rehab site is usually for short stays. So it's not that you're at rehab continuously. So means that you're there for a short period of time, even maybe after a fracture or such an event of congestive heart failure, whatever that may be, but that's where insurance does pay for that as well too. So the long-term entity is usually your Social Security, and sometimes there is part paid by Medicaid. But with all that being said, I want to differentiate that nursing home, there's really no such thing, and it's definitely not assisted living. We really want to use the whole analogy that it's senior living, and assisted is only one part of senior living. There's independent living, there is assisted living, meaning that you're getting some care, and also there is memory care. And depending on the facility itself, is their license is how long that you can stay at the facility. A lot of them you can stay there to end of life, but also there is in that assisted living name, there's also what they call residential care homes that are also known as assisted living homes. So again, the term is used so loosely, but we want you to make sure that you know the difference. Many people that might be living in assisted living homes or facilities, that they get into care, but it's a sense of community mostly, importantly. It is a safe environment for adults and individuals that are living with some kind of need or assistance. Like I said, if somebody is independent, they could be living in a facility that is not, they don't need the care, but they're living there, that there is care if they do need it. So, also that these facilities are in an environment that is very much of a community. That's great about it, that your neighbors are right down the hallway. There's activities, there's meals to be had. There is transportation that brings you to events. There is also medical that comes in, which is maybe mobile physician groups. There is nursing on board as well, but it is all contained in this building, in this house, in this home, that somebody has a really good quality of life. And with that being said, living home alone, sometimes it's more of an existence than actually having something to look forward to the next day, especially maybe just, hanging out with your neighbor, playing cards, attending an activity or performance that's being done at the community. So do know what it means, and it is this week that we actually celebrate National Assisted Living Week, and all the people that work there, and how we're very grateful for their services in taking care of our senior loved ones. Um, Going over history, there's a little things that we talk about seniors because they do bring up a large number of our population, especially with the baby boomers that are growing, and that's going to be a large segment of our population. It's going to be more and more that there is senior living communities that are going to be needed for this population growing. But with that being said, what does seniors need? There is Social Security when you do retire, and that is begotten at such an age. And believe it or not, many people realize that the U.S. passed Social Security back in 1935. It seems like it was around forever, but it's only 1935 that it had started with the Social Security benefits, and it is retired workers that had put it into it while they were working and now receiving that. Medicare, Medicaid, which it covers is the health insurance, actually was in 1965 when that was enacted. So again, it is to influence the development of modern nursing facilities. The concept of assisted living was introduced in the 1970s. Thanks to this lady and gentleman, was Jessie F. Richardson and her daughter, Dr. Karen Wilson. The concept of assisted living became more mainstream. The Welcome National Assisted Living Week started in 1995, and it was done by the National Center for Assisted Living, started the National Assisted Living Week. So those are just little historical things that are, just points of wonder. What are the 5 important things to remember about assisted living and aging? Number 1, we're living longer. By 2040, it is estimated that there will be 14.1 million people over the age of 85. 2, where are my girls at? The Assisted Living Federation of America has estimated that female to male ratio in assisted living communities is 7-1. So there is 7 females to 1 gentleman that's living there. 3, growing older is expensive. 1 in 5 seniors racks up more than $25,000 in care costs in a given year. 4, it's never too late to start exercising. Research has found that beginning to exercise at 75 or even 80 can help to reduce unwanted effects of aging. Believe it, that late onset. 5, most of us will need long-term care. Almost 70% of Americans will be needing long-term care in their life. So again, it's an environment that we all might be involved in for ourselves as well, but don't look at it negatively. There is such wonderful senior living communities and people that are really thriving and having an enriched life. Why is Assisted Living Week is important? 1, it is an opportunity for assisted living communities to host events and activities. What a great opportunity for them to open up their doors, to have the public come in and see what they're all about. A lot of festivities going on. I've seen ice cream making and ice cream sundae classes and enjoyment, happy hour. Maybe there's entertainment. There is somebody that's singing that you could go to their show at their facility. But this is a week of recognition, but to really learn what is going on in senior living communities. Not hearing about it, but actually learning about it from maybe a lecture or even an opportunity to volunteer at these communities. 2, National Assisted Living Week highlights great work. it goes unnoticed about what really takes to run an assisted living community or senior living community. Of course, there's administration, which is an executive director, also known as an administrator. There's director of sales, there's director of nursing. But we also tend to forget there is so many people that make it all possible, from the dietary end, from all the nursing, all the aides, the medical techs, housekeeping, maintenance, the transportation specialists, the activities, or what we like to call it is life enrichment personnel. There is so many people that are managing that community that make it work and make it enjoyable for your loved one to be involved in. So again, we're recognizing all the great work that senior living communities do. Two, National Assisted Living Week recognizes great work. I'm sorry, I'm repeating myself. But three, each year it has its own theme. This year it's called Inspiring Generations. The theme has the goal of inspiring assisted living community facility residents to seize the day and take advantage of all that there is to offer. Now that's a mission we can get behind. Inspiring Generations, there is so many senior living communities that bring multi-generational activities. I've seen senior living communities actually bring in a daycare or a preschool program to come in. What a great mixture, seeing a senior maybe in their 80s actually doing an activity with a 5, 7, 9-year-old child. It is wonderful. They learn from each other. It's almost like the Montessori philosophy, but inspiring, meaning that when you see an elder, not only for respect and dignity, but you're still learning from them. So we have a lot to learn from our seniors, and they're not just existing, they're still thriving. How to observe Assisted Living Week. Visit someone in assisted living community. Everybody knows at least one person that's living in a senior living community. That might be your neighbor. It might be a loved one. It might be a friend. Go visit. Having visits from people that they love and adore is something very enjoyable for them as well. And they get to be a host. Sometimes that you can actually have lunch or dinner with them, maybe breakfast. And it's usually very reasonable, but also very delicious, that they are feeling like they're entertaining you as well. And sometimes these folks also can invite you to an activity or an event there as well. So going visit somebody is wonderful in an assisted living facility. Take an assisted living facility tour. This is something I do, and really we honestly do tours that are applicable to your senior loved one or somebody that you're looking for assisted living for. And the reason is, to do a tour does take time, and it takes away from maybe somebody else needing that time slot to actually be placed at. So, I love to work with you, and that's something that is my specialty. We don't go to communities or facilities that are not appropriate for your loved one. So that's a way of doing tours, is scheduling them, and I'm the most obliged to helping you do that with my services. Create something special for residents. You know what? Dropping off some goodies, some crafts for them to do. Maybe write to a pen pal, start a pen pal with somebody that's living there, or a group of them, and maybe once a week write to them. It's really neat. It branches the relationship, and there is not that fear of what an assisted living is like. You're really learning about what goes on, and you're becoming a friend of someone. And it was really today that somebody actually messaged me, and it's one of my friends who actually is one of my movers that moves furniture for when somebody moves from home to an assisted living. And he said, Linda, you know what? I see it now that I've been helping you, and my daughter, who also has my name, would love, she's only 14 years old, would love to volunteer and be involved in it. What a great thing that I saw today. Tony, I'll get back to you and I'll set you up finally. But great that he implied this and had this conversation, because he never really expanded himself until I really started working with him, and now he really is a senior living mover specialist. And it was by that introduction that he's now discussing it with his family, and his daughter would like to volunteer. Wasn't that just unique? So I want you to realize this week is special. It goes through the 14th, and that being Saturday. So recognize somebody that works at a facility, send them a thank you card, go visit a resident, your loved one at assisted living. But now that you know what the difference between nursing home, skilled nursing facility, senior living, independent, assisted and memory care, and residential care homes, you know the difference. So it's not something that's scary, it's something that is wonderful. As always, I lead you to my website. It is www.goldenruleseniorplacement.com. There you will find my bio. You will also find testimonials, the various options, resources, and a whole host of library of all these videos that you could look into. I always tell you what we're going to have for next week. Next week is September 17th. We'll air Tuesday Talks, and since September is Healthy Aging Month, what we're going to talk about is what we should know about healthy aging for not only our senior loved ones, but also for ourselves. So be proactive and preventative. Thank you. As always, don't forget, go thank somebody in assisted living for a job well done. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful week, a blessed one. Bye-bye now.